This is a demonstration of how I use the UMA editor that hair fall, I don't know, unlocked with a additional DLL. First thing you do is you go to this website, which is the 7 Days to Die forum, and you go to this post, and you download the DLL file. Now this is technically a cheat, so keep that in mind. You'll definitely need to back up your file. So you downloaded it, and it goes to mega whatever majiggy here, and you always download through your browser. You never download with this MegaSync crap, because this is going to install spyware onto your computer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I wish he would host this on, I don't know, his Dropbox or something easier. But download to the browser, and it eventually downloads. When it does download, you're going to have the file. You're going to save it somewhere, and you're going to copy it over to the 7 Days to Die Data Managed folder. I rename it to .UMA editor here, and then I back up my regular DLL, and then I basically change the name of this one. You know what? I'm just going to copy it. Copy, then paste it, rename it to simply sharp.dll. Now this has replaced the DLL file in 7 Days to Die, and it is very important that you do this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my 7 Days to Die data config folder. I'm going to use Notepad++ to edit archetypes. Now, I actually have it open over here. So this is my archetypes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find any old UMA zombie. Let's go with, you know what, I'm going to find the stripper. Now I'm going to find the other stripper. So I'm going to take everything from the archetype name equals stripper. I'm going to highlight it all the way down to the end archetype, right? I'm going to copy it with Control-C. I'm going to go to the very end of my file. I'm going to make some space, and Control-V it. And then I'm going to rename this to gup test. Okay? Now what I've done is I've created an archetype called gup test that basically looks exactly like the stripper. So now when I go into the game, one other file I keep open is this overlays file. This is somewhere in this post. Here it is, right here. List all slots and overlays in the current file. And basically it's a list of everything that we can use. The thing is this is really tricky to use, and you never know what's going to work, what's not going to work, and where it's going to work at. So anyway, I'm going to go, and I'm going to run 7 Days to Die. I'm going to show the game launcher, click play, and unclick use anti-cheat for EAC. If you keep EAC enabled, the game will just give you a black screen. I'm going to load it. You can see I'm in a windowed mode, and I'll show you why in a second. I'm actually going to go to my options and change my video options to something a lot smaller so I can fit it into the screen. Alright, so I want this file, I want this open, and I want this open. This is just for video demo purposes. So anyway, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to options, player profiles, and I'm going to find my test folder, gup test. Because I already created it in archetypes, it's going to be in this list. So I'm going to click it, and I'm going to click OK. You can see it's a stripper. Ooh, look, boobies. Then I'm going to click editing tools. What the DLL does is it overrides the little thing where you can see the map viewer. And of course it doesn't work. Give me a second to fix that. Okay, I goofed and actually copied over the wrong DLL file. Anyway, so I make sure that gup test is clicked. I click OK, and then I go to editing tools, and it brings me up to the preview screen. Now here's the thing. When I go looking at my archetypes, it's divided into two sections. I have this top part, which talks about the clothing and how the face looks and everything that's on the exterior stuff. have this bottom part. This is the head size, neck size, and all this other crap. This is actually controlled right here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to say mess with the face. Now, looks like they gave her some eyeshadow, but I want to go ahead and this is where I can change her height. Let's make her really small. Her head size, I'll make her really big. Head width, and you can see it's making a subtle difference. This is the exact same slider as you see when you're creating your own character. But here's what I'm going to do. I don't really like these eyes. Now, they're kind of cool. I think I'm going to keep those eyes. I don't like the skin color, right? So I'm going to go back over here, scroll back up to the top here to Gup Test. There's my skin color right here. And this is where I just basically play with it. I'm going to change 235 in the first number. This is red, green, blue. Unfortunately, the colors don't really match that well with typical RGB numbers, so you can't really get on Google and look at see what the RGB colors are, because these have so many different overlays and so many different textures. It doesn't never going to quite match the RGB values you put in over here. Anyway, so I file saved it, and then I click the refresh button here. See, now I made it red, right? So I'm going to go ahead and make this, change it to the values are anywhere between 0 and 255, by the way, or maybe it's 1. Yeah, it's 0 and 255. 0 is black, 255 is white. Change that to a 2. Oops. That's not going to be right. And then refresh. More of a yellow skin. I don't really want that either. Let's change it to 215. 215. Still yellow skin, too much yellow. What happens if I change this? This is basically trial by and error until I find the color that I like. Let's change it to 15. Kind of a Hulk green, okay. Let's go with this. Let's change it to, say, 75. Kind of a green tint. So I'm going to decrease the green just a little bit. And the changes are really subtle, but they are there. So you can see if I change it to 115 here, it changes to very green. I don't really like that green though. Let's say I'm happy with this color. Let's go with a typical green zombie color. So what else do I want to do? Well, let's get rid of these. You know what? I could see that the resolution I changed was incorrect. It was not going to help me here. So let me go back and change the video options to something a little bit bigger, so that actually fits. Still doesn't quite fit. That's okay, I can change it manually. I wonder why it's not working. Okay, I found a resolution that fits the screen. That resolution has a minimum of 1176 by 664. It's an odd number, but whatever. Edit in tools. Now I actually have the breast size. Go ahead and shrink her boobs down. Let's see, what else don't I like? I don't like that hat. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to find the hat. Now here's the thing, is there's this is really a trial by error thing. Let me show with her legs first, because this is the easiest. When I go to legs, legs right here. If I didn't have this nude model down here and I only had something from pants, let's see, pants, female leather pants. I'll Control C that there. I'll save that. And there's some leather pants, right? What if I didn't have this line at all? And I didn't have the nude. What I'm going to get is I'm going to get invisible legs. Well, I'm not going to get invisible legs because, there we go, invisible legs. And the reason why is because the pants count as legs, but also the legs nude count as legs. So you can actually have the legs nude and the pants. And I like to have the nude models underneath the clothed models because it really prevents any invisibility from like showing up. So because I have legs nude, and then on top of the legs nude I have armor leather pants. What I see is leather pants. And yes, technically I can get rid of the legs nude. And it'll still be here. But I like to keep it anyway. Because what if I put shorts on her? If I put shorts on her, then I'm going to see invisible calves. So I like to keep the actual body parts in here. So we have female torso nude, female hands. Let's see, I'm going to go with male torso nude. And it still keeps breast. I guess breasts are just, oh, that's legs. Torso, there we go. And because there's no male torso nude that fits with female base chest. And this is where this file over here gets tricky because you don't really know what belongs with what. When you actually look at male torso nude, and I know it doesn't even exist. Maybe that's why. Male torso? It's male torso. Let's try that. Let's try male torso wound. Haven't tried that one yet. Copy. Paste. So it's still invisible, but it looks like that's a wound that goes. So that's not actually the male torso either. So I need a male torso. And that's what we talked about with stuff that's invisible. Texture, name equals male torso, color equals skin. And it doesn't work because it doesn't like male torso. So now I have to get totally out of that 7 days to die. Change this. Oh, you know what? Because would I lose a quote? Oh, I forgot a quote right here. Make sure all my colors line up. Go back in 7 days to die. And so that's what happens when you get errors. You can find out real quick. Come on. Alright, so what's happened here is, you see there's no longer any nipples? Is because the male torso body texture is trying to wrap around the female base chest. And it just doesn't work right. So the texture doesn't wrap because, quite frankly, it's smaller because it doesn't have the breast. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to male base chest. And now I have a male base chest with a female head. And now you can see it still doesn't fit. So you really want to kind of keep the sexes the same. Let me put everything back to female. Alright, so now I think this is the wound overlay. So basically what it is you have the female base chest with the female torso, then the female torso wound, that's this part right here, and then a unisex face dirt overlay. That's all these little splotches. So if I get rid of that, all the dirt goes away. See? Now she looks like the Hulk. And if I get rid of the wound, then the wound goes away. But I like both those. And then you can see, I can also clean up the hands if I wanted to. If I got rid of the hands overlay, then it looks kind of stupid though. So it's good to keep it consistent. I like the dirt look. It works for all my zombies. If you don't want dirt, then, you know, do something else. But let's take a look at the dirt itself too. Let's see, the dirt on her neck. So the dirt on her neck has these colors over here. Well, remember, it's red, green, blue, right? Red, green, blue. This is basically opacity. You should probably leave this as 255 because you start going lower and you start getting some, well, you won't see it on this one. That's hands. You see this little invisibility looking thing right here? You can actually see through it to the gray. So you really want to leave this at 255, this last number, the opacity. And you'll see this gray go away. Let's go back to the chest though. So I'm back here at the base, and I'm going to start changing colors. Let's say I want it completely red, which is 255 for red, 0 green, 0 blue. Now remember, it's going to take into account the skin color as well, so it's not going to look completely red, but you can see it does look a lot more red. So if I did something with a skin color, like made it a white skin color, then the red would pop more. So it's just a matter of trial and error and trying to find the right blending. So far she's looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and change her nose though. So I can change her nose over here. Change the nose curve. Let's see that do anything. I'm going to hit the right mouse button and move so I can look at it sideways. Let me give her a long nose. Then give her a skinny nose and then point her nose upwards. I'm going to click Save over here. Then when I go over here, Notepad++ is going to say there's modified, so I'm going to click Yes. What that's basically done is it's edited these numbers down here. Now, let's say I'm done with the clothes. Well, no, because I really don't like those this hat. So I'm going to go find the hat. Let's see. Mouth parts, inner, this ball cap. And I'm going to get rid of this part altogether. Unix X gear, press boy cap, right? Let's see, what can I change it for? I already have hair. I already have eyelashes. I have a female head zombie. I'm just going to get rid of this entire part. And see what happens. Now she looks bald up here. Because this part, that section I just got rid of, controls what goes on up here. Now they had a base overlay of just female hair overlay. I'm going to go ahead and try to see what that looks like, see if I can find something that looks cool. Female shaggy hair. That looks a lot better. I kind of like that. But I don't like the color for it, because the color for it is hair. I like the color of this other hair instead. So I'm going to go ahead and change, I'm going to copy this color over here. Paste it over here. This should change the color of this crap up at the top. And sure enough it does, but it still looks kind of dumb. So I don't really like the look of that either. Let's see, let's change that back to hair. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this to look right at all. That looks a little bit better. Kind of matches a little bit better. It doesn't really stand out as much. But let's say I can go female. Let's see, I'm going to Control F for hair. Find another one. Males have a lot more hair. So let's go with male shaggy hair. First of all, I have a duplicate. It looks like I got female shaggy hair here and here. Well, let me get rid of one. That's a more interesting effect. I got some sort of mustache shit going on here. So I definitely don't like that. So I definitely want my hair over here. What if I get rid of my shaggy hair over here? And as you can see, a whole lot of this is a whole bunch of trial and error. Well, now I have hair down here, but I don't have any hair up here. So I definitely still want some hair up here. But what do I want? How about male shaggy hair? Did I try that one yet? Yeah, that looks okay. I like that. I'm going to stick with that. I don't really care for the eyeshadow and the blush, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that altogether. Blush, I'm going to keep the eyeliner. And there, now she's looking kind of creepy. And then One thing that really makes the zombies stand out and look like zombies is this line right here. Male head zombie. I'm going to show what it looks like without the male head zombie. It's going to remove these got features over here. Well, I need to have something, so let's change it to male head, which I know is valid because I remember seeing it over here. See, it doesn't quite look like a zombie because those cheeks are sunken in. But when you do male head zombie, you get that nice zombified look. Let's see what happens when I change it to female head zombie. Which one looks better? That's female head zombie. The colors match a little bit better. I kind of like this darker look better. So I still don't like this beard thing I got going on over here. So let's see. Where did that even come from? Was that over here? No, definitely not. So, third overlay, lipstick, female shaggy hair. I bet this is it right here. I think I've actually already messed with this. I don't know why it's looking like this with the, oh no, it looks better now. It's not on the face anymore. Must have just been a glitch. Well, let me refresh here. No, it is something to do with this. So female shaggy hair, because it's a texture, it probably does not belong on female base face. Probably belongs on female base mouth. I mean, head. So let me do this. I'm going to create a new part. Part slot equals head, layer equals base, mesh equals female base head, and then I don't even know if this is a valid thing, so I'm going to try to look it up. Female base. Let's see what the different options are. Female base chest, eyelashes, eyes, face, hair, hands, legs. So these are the only really available options. So maybe if I change this to inner, and then I change female shaggy hair and put it on the inner side. No, that didn't work. Outer? No. Yeah, I have no clue. So I'm going to put the shaggy hair. Oh, because I have I don't know. I really don't know why this hair over here is showing up. But I don't like it, so I guess I'm just not going to use shaggy hair. Let me get rid of this. Now you can see a lot of this is just trial and error. So instead of using female shaggy hair, I'm going to see what else is available. Female hair bun. No, didn't work. I don't know what just happened. Oh, yeah, I lost it. Okay. Oh, I see. Female hair long hat. So what if I change that to female hair long, which is a slot, and it's a slot. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, there we go. That's the look I'm actually going for, and I don't have any of the crazy shit up top. Alright, so this isn't too bad at all. I got a balding chick, and I'm holding down the right mouse button while spinning. I got a face wound, I got a mouth, I got eyes. And the eyes aren't too bad. I'm going to change up the eyes to some other zombies I was working on. That way all my eyes have the same look. And so I'm going to Control C this from here. And I'm going to replace my eyes, the base female eyes, with this over here. And then refresh. And then that gives me a look that it's consistent throughout my zombies. They all have this bloodshot look eyes. There's a shaded eye, it's an iris, and then the bloodshot eye. And the color of the eye in this case is 184, 169, whatever, right? It's going to go back up to one of my zombies that I'm trying to keep consistent with. Copy the colors. Paste those. Oops, that didn't work. Copy all of it this time. And again, you don't need to do this. This is where you can change the eye color at, though. I like to have consistency, and it lightens them up a little bit. So now this is consistent eyes with the same eyes of all of my other EMAs. So far it's looking pretty good, right? Did I change the brush size? Thought I did. I'll save that again. Come back over here, reload, back, editing tools, and then good. Her ADBs are still there. Alright, now let's see, I'm going to make her a little skinnier, right? Let's see, where's muscle at? Weight. Let's make her skinny. And muscle. It's more in shape that way. It looks a little bit like She-Hulk. Let's take her super skinny. Get rid of her muscles. Shrink her butt down to nothing. Save it. Come back over here. Reload it. File save for this one. Click OK. Go back to, oops. Back, and then editing tools. This way I'm basically keeping this copy saved matches this copy over here. So I don't like what's going on with these pants, because she wouldn't really be wearing a G-string on top of her pants, right? So, and this is where you kind of look at and see, okay, we start off with the first layer is legs, arm, and nude, then the leather pants, then the bikini bottom, right? If I take the bikini bottom and put it underneath the pants, and you'll see they'll disappear. They're there, but they're hidden beneath this part. Since they're not really needed, I'll go ahead and get rid of them entirely. Let's lighten up the color of the pants too. This color is white. That doesn't look white to me. Let's really change it to white and see what happens. That didn't change anything. It's changing to red. Yeah, you can see they got some red going on to them. I'm still not quite happy with that skin color. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I change that to a 25. No. Yeah, that's a little bit better. That's more like what I want. Let's change that to 100. No. No, definitely not. Model green look. Nah. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Let's try this. Yeah, this seems to be the best direction to go. No, that's too blue. And so I got kind of a off green color. Let's go over everything in here. First of all, am I happy with her? Those hands are kind of weird, but I want to get rid of those boots too. So let's go find her feet. So over here, we have female goth boots. Here's the problem. I can get rid of, now this part slot, the mesh, it's basically this shape. So even if I get rid of this to change it to something else, female nude, let's see. Let's say Arth, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm going to change that to male armor cloth feet, right? Now what it's going to do is it's going to put this texture around this shape. So the male armor cloth feet is going to go around the texture of the goth boots. But since it doesn't exist, it's going to disappear on me. Let's find the valid feet. There we go. Unisex scrap metal feet. Alright, so now I have scrap metal. That's the shape of the goth boots. So I don't want that either. So I'm going to change this to also scrap metal. And then now you see the shape is the same. So if I took this shape and I put it to the goth feet, see these little outcroppings here on the bandit metal? They're still going to exist, but on the goth feet. Now, it looks okay, but it doesn't look great. And it's also certainly not the look I'm going for. So I'm going to get rid of them entirely. So I'm going to find feet. I'm going to find a valid foot. So I'm going to change this to female feet. Which is the shape. Now, and then I'm going to change this to whatever feet, whatever nude is. That didn't work out. So because I don't, male base feet, because I don't know what it's actually called. Oh, it's female base feet, I bet. Yep, okay, so now I have my female base feet shape with female feet over it. Change that to male. And you can see it looks a little rougher. I kind of like that look. But the color is off because it's a white person, and I don't want a white person. So I have two options. I can either copy paste the skin color that's up here, or because I've already set the skin color, I can change it to just skin. And it matches the colors. Now it looks a little clean because there's no dirt overlay. So I'm going to find my dirt overlay, same one I used for the face. I'm going to put it on top of that. See? Now I've got dirty feet. I've got dirty hands. Got a dirty face. Here's the problem though. I have black dirt up here, red here, and some red all over the place. Do I want to make a match? Not really, because having the black up here makes the wound a little bit more pronounced. And I'll just leave the feet as black. In fact, I'm actually going to change the chest color from red to this color up here. So I'm going to take this color, which is the black, find the chest, and then boom. Now the red really stands out more. I want to give it more red though. There. Not too bad. So this zombie, based off the stripper, no longer looks anything like the stripper. And now I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to zoom up on the face, and these sliders only go so far. Height to 1, height to whatever, still goes 0 to 1. So I'm going to go ahead and start messing with stuff on the text side. So I'll go down to these parts, the expressions and the DNA, and here I can actually change the values quite a bit more than what the sliders allow me to do. So let's say I have a tongue curl, I have 0 here. Let's change it to a 1 and see what happens. I can't see anything because I can't see a tongue, so I'm not going to worry about that one. Let's see, left mouse smile frown is minus 0.053. Let's change it to minus 2 and see what happens. This is the left smile. And I forgot to have a quote over here, so I have to exit out. Alt F4 to close it. Load it again. You'll see it's important to make sure that you check the text before you save it and pull it back in, because any slight error will cause the game to crash. Trial and error. You can see I got this little curl down here. Now I think it looks cool to have the curl on one side only, so I'm going to keep that curl, just that one side. I'm going to push it down a little bit more. Let's see what 5 looks like. Oh, now it's kind of looking kind of creepy. So I check and see, does it look good from all angles? That's a little extreme. So let me change that to 4. Still a little extreme. Let's go 3.5. There, I think this looks pretty good. Now should I change the other side to go up? So right mouth smile frown. Let's change that to up just a little bit. Change that negative to a positive. Now she looks kind of stupid. So I'm gonna change that back. And again, it's just a matter of preference. Let's check out this nose though. I had fun with the noses. So the nose flatten is 0.5, right? Let's change that to a 2 and see what happens. Now it's really, really skinny. Nose pronounced as a 0.58. Let's change that to a -1. And it definitely shortened it. Change it back to a 1. So let's go ahead and change that back to a -1.5 this time. Give a really flat nose. I think that would actually look good if it was wider. So nose width, let's go with 2. Let's go with 5, just so I can show you the difference. You can see that when you start going obscenely large numbers, it stretches the texture, so it makes it look stupid. So it's really all about a balance. So I'm going to put that back to like a 1. Nose curve, on the other hand, is a fun one. Change it to a 3 and see what happens. Now you can see this nose pronounce. Here's the slider for it. It's actually -1.5, so the slider is way over here. If I try to move it, I can't go back down, right? So I have to go back to nose pronounce. Well, crap, and I'm kind of stuck because I changed it over here. So I have to refresh. Now it puts it back over here. Refresh reads it from the file. Save it, writes it to the file. So right now, since I'm editing the file, I only want to do all my changes in the file and just refresh to view it. What was I doing? I was looking for a flat nose, huh? Jaw position. Let's see here. Jaw position was a 0.5. Let's change it to a 1.5 and see what happens. It's definitely did some stuff to the jaw. Kind of gave it a creepier look. Still looks okay. I'm going to keep it. Change it to a 2.5, just kind of give you an idea of what direction we're going. how about a minus 2.5? You can see it's all flat and stupid looking. And that's actually not bad, except for I don't like these little points right here. So obviously it's a little too extreme. But I'm going to go ahead and change it back to a positive. Yeah. Doesn't look too bad. Mouse size is now a little, no, it works out. So overall, I kind of like it. Let's make her feet really big. Let's see what happens with it. Let's do a negative breast size. Let's see if that does anything. It does, so I can go backwards on breast size too. It's 3, minus 3. Okay, it looks like there is definitely some sort of limit to it. So we change that to a positive 3. Yeah, definitely not what I'm looking for. Let's go minus 10. So you can see there is a minimum size. I don't know what it is, but minus 10 obviously does not look very different from minus 2, which doesn't look very different from minus 1. Which, let's see if it looks any different than 0. So, alright, so it looks like minus 1 is the smallest breast size. Change that back. Alright, now we're looking kind of creepy. We're gone. Shoulder, let's see if this can do anything with that shoulder width. Where's the muscles at? Muscles is at 0, right? Let's change that to minus 1, see what happens. Ooh, that just looks retarded. So, definitely don't want to do that. I'm going to leave that back as 0. So you can truly make some alienish type creatures here, and I definitely don't want to do that. What about the weight? Minus 1. I don't know if I saw any change there, so I'm going to change it to minus 5 and see if... No. So, leave it at minus 1. Foot size. Let's give her some big feet. Yeah, hand size. There we go. Let's give her 2.5 on hands. Let's give her 5.5 on hands. Yeah. Now we're starting to look kind of creepy, but not very zombie-like. So I'm going to change that back to a 1.5. Although I am curious, I'm going to change it to a 10.5. See what we can do with that puppy. Let's see if we can go to 20. No, so somewhere in there, you can't get any larger than a certain number. But you can make it definitely look very odd. It's kind of cool, but not appropriate for a zombie. Let's see. Let's see if we can do anything with these eyes. Oh, you know what? Right cheek lip, no, which cheek? Right cheek puff squint. Let's change that to a 3 and see what happens. You can see where it's pushed out the bone too much. So, but I do kind of like the look of it though. Let me change it to a 1. And it's still a little pointy. How about a 0.5? No, I don't like it. I don't really have the same on the other side. So, change that back to a 0. And watch the point disappear. I do want some value though. 0.1 maybe? Is there any difference between the right and the left? I'd say there's a little bit of a difference. Let's try out 0.2. So basically I try to push the limits of the values until it starts looking stupid. Okay, so 0.1 it is. And do the same to the other side. Not too shabby. kind of actually happy with her face except for her eyes. So let's go to, ooh, here's another cool one. The neck tilt. Neck tilt to the right. Let's go -3. Now she'll actually walk with that little neck tilt thing going on. Let's make it a little more subtle though. That's -1.5. Yeah, a little more subtle. So it looks like there's a value in there. That 3 is probably too high. So we've got neck left, right. Let's see what that does. Let's change that to a 3. Oh, kind of twist the head a little bit. I like that a little bit too. And it looks like there's a value in there too. I can't exceed. Oops, 0.5. There. Now she never looks quite head on. So between the neck tilt, let's change that to a plus. And then, no, leave that as a minus. Oops, almost, yep. Now she's always going to have that weird ass tilt. She got her face all squished up over here. Let's go back to those eyes. Let's go to right eye up, down. Let's go up, up. Looks like it's a positive number. And it didn't seem to make any change. How about left eye in, out? Let's change that to a 10, see if that does anything. Doesn't look like there's any difference. So I do like to, after I change a value that doesn't seem to do anything, change it back to the default value. How about brows in? Let's change that to a 10. Let's change it to a -10. Doesn't seem to do anything either. Left brow up, down. Let's change that to 1.23. There we go, that raised the brow. But I actually want to go with a negative number on that. Do the same for the other eye. What is this mid-brow thing? Let's go with that with the positive. Okay, it looks like this is the mid-brow, and then this is the other brow. So I kind of want, if I want to go from here down here, I would say go high on the mid-brow, and then low on the oops, low on that part. And sure enough, oh yeah, I kind of like that look. Change that to a, now she has more of a sad look. Oh, I'm digging that. Even though I put an equal sign in there. Luckily it didn't crash. Now doesn't she look more sad, more in pain? The eyes. Let's change this to a 2, see if we can get that going. Oh, even more. Change to a 5. Nah, too much. Starting to look pretty comical. Let's go back to the 2. So that's for the eyebrows. What can I do with the eye? Forehead size. Did I mess with that yet? Oh, yeah. Now you can see though it clips into the hair. So I don't want the forehead size quite that big. So I got to play with it a little bit. Let's go down halfway. Still a little too big. There. Yeah, I can dig that. Lip size. Let's change that to a 5.2. See what it does. Nah, it makes it look goofy because it's all squared off down here. It was a 0.2. Let's change it to a -0.2. Let's change it to a -1.2. Nah, don't really see any real difference there. -5. Well, kind of a basically Made our mouth close, so I don't really care for that whole lot though. Minus 2.2. There we go. But she just looks too sad now. She doesn't look mean anymore. Yeah. It looks a little goofy. Change that to 1.8. Looks like 1.5 is probably the high value. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. Alright, so I got her looking sad. I got her mouth changed, size changed. I have her nose flattened. We shrunk her breast. Anything we can do with her arms? I don't really see anything for arms. And alright. So this is my archetypes. So from here to here is this UMA zombie. So I'm going to go ahead and, since I already have it saved over here, I'm going to click cancel over here. These are some other zombies I made. And now I have a new zombie who doesn't look too bad.